For over a month, Jantar Mantar in Delhi was the center of one of the biggest student movements in recent memory. Thousands gathered under the banner of the Cockroach Janta Party, the CJP, demanding accountability over the NEET paper leak. Then, on a Saturday in late July, it ended. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan resigned. The protest was called off within hours. But that's not the end of the story. It's actually where a much messier chapter begins, one about consistency, accountability, and what happens to the students who were part of the violence. Let's rewind briefly. The protest began as a demand for action on alleged irregularities in NEET, CUET, and CBSE Class 12 exams. It grew when Ladakhi engineer Sonam Wangchuk joined an indefinite hunger strike alongside student groups, demanding Pradhan's resignation and compensation for the families of NEET aspirants who died. On July 20th, security forces used baton charges and tear gas to stop protesters from marching toward parliament, and some protesters clashed with police and pelted stones. Delhi police said at least 118 personnel were injured and between 15 and 20 government vehicles were damaged. Police also said they would register FIRs against protesters involved in the violence. The protest also picked up political weight it hadn't started with. NCP leader Sharad Pawar visited the site, and Jammu and Kashmir's Chief Minister Omar Abdullah raised the demand for statehood from the protest platform, which triggered its own debate about whether this was still purely a students' protest. Then came the resignation. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan resigned over the NEET paper leak controversy, and the CJP called off its 36-day protest hours later after the centre accepted several of its key demands. Almost immediately, a new question took over the conversation. If a paper leak is enough to force a minister out in Delhi, what about paper leaks in states run by other parties? This is where Punjab entered the picture. Opposition leaders from the BJP, Congress, and the Shiromani Akali Dal have demanded the resignation of Punjab's Education Minister Harjot Singh Bains, alleging multiple paper leaks in the state, with, in their words, zero accountability. BJP leader Ravneet Singh Bittu was among those publicly calling for Bains to step down. And CJP itself came under fire for its silence. A video showing CJP spokesperson Saurav Das and Ashutosh Ranka repeatedly declining to say whether they'd push for accountability in opposition-ruled states like Punjab went viral, with critics online accusing the movement of being selective about which governments it holds responsible. CJP founder Abhijit Dipke has since said the group is looking into it. He said on the Sunday after the protest ended that CJP would examine the alleged Punjab paper leak and announce its next steps in the coming days. It's worth being fair here. Punjab's government hasn't accepted the paper leak framing at all. Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann has said that not a single exam paper has leaked during his government's 4.5-year tenure. He described the incidents instead as cheating at two locations, where Bluetooth-enabled pens were used to scan questions and transmit them outside the exam hall for answers, which were then sent back to the students during the test. According to Mann, those students were caught within about 10 minutes along with the people helping them, and in total 21 people were arrested and jailed. He has repeated that framing publicly since, insisting no paper actually leaked and that cheating attempts were caught and dealt with. So you have two competing narratives. Opposition parties call it a full-blown paper leak scandal and point to reports of 6 or 7 separate leak incidents in Punjab as proof of a pattern. The Punjab government calls it isolated cheating that was caught and punished, not a systemic leak. This isn't actually new territory in Indian politics. Paper leak controversies have triggered resignation demands before. Assam's education minister faced calls to resign after a class 10 science paper leak years ago, and Rajasthan's opposition has demanded the same over the REIT exam leak. What's different this time is the scale of national attention and the fact that one minister did resign. That sets a precedent opposition parties are now trying to invoke everywhere else. But realistically, a single resignation doesn't create an automatic domino effect. Whether any other education minister in Punjab or elsewhere actually resigns will depend on whether a formal investigation finds direct ministerial responsibility, not just administrative failure. How much sustained political and public pressure builds the way it did at Jantar Mantar. Whether the ruling party in that state calculates the political cost of a resignation is higher than defending the minister. Right now, Punjab's government is choosing to defend, not concede. That could change if new evidence emerges, but as of this recording, it hasn't. Now to the part that affects real young people directly, the students who were at Jantar Mantar when things turned violent. Delhi police confirmed it would file FIRs against protesters involved in the stone pelting and vehicle damage. That process doesn't just evaporate because the protest ended or the minister resigned. FIRs typically move forward through investigation regardless of whether the original demand was met. Police still have to establish who was involved and to what degree. That said, CJP founder Abhijit Dipke has said discussions are underway with the government about the FIRs registered against protesting students, and he has demanded that no cases be filed against them. So there are really two tracks running in parallel. The legal track, police investigations and FIRs continue independently of politics, and students found to have caused property damage or assaulted personnel could still face charges. Number two, the political or negotiation track. CJP is actively lobbying the government to drop or soften cases against students, arguing the underlying protest was legitimate even if some individuals crossed the line. Which track wins out is genuinely uncertain right now. Governments have in the past quietly withdrawn cases against student protesters once political pressure eased, but they've also at other times let prosecutions run their course as a deterrent. There's no confirmed outcome yet either way. So, where does that leave things? One minister is out, one protest is over, but the deeper question the protest raised, who gets held accountable and who doesn't, is still much very open. Punjab's minister is under pressure but not out. Other states with their own paper leak histories haven't seen the same national spotlight. And for the students facing FIRs, their fate is still being decided in rooms far from the cameras that covered the protest itself. This is a developing story, and if you want the latest on any of these threads, the Punjab investigation, the FIR negotiations, it's worth checking current reporting because this could shift quickly.